Okay, this is an effect I put on my news feed recently. It's a fade in effect, and it works quite nicely. You can see items coming in one after the other down the page. Sorry I can't get a better screenshot for you, but it's just the way it is. Okay, so you got that, and now I guess you want to know how it's done. So okay, this is the PHP part of it. Again, apologise I can't get more screen in for you. Start off by creating a new class, and this will manage the whole news area from edits, updates from the manager's side. As you can see, I'll set some methods in here to do that. Using a new kid on the block here, SQLite database. Bit of an odd one, takes some getting used to. Not many features, but you're supposed to call it all through back references into PHP really, so it's quite powerful, but I haven't quite completely cracked it yet. Nice tool though. Move on quickly down the class, just drawing lists of items on the page which just go out in div tags. Okay, the XML part of it is fairly straightforward. There's only a dozen lines at the most. Standard, what we're going to do, we've brought in record set results based on your query, and we're going to print out the XML to you for your RSS feed reader. So standard declaration across the top. Also using the atom namespace there, you don't have to use that, but I prefer it 'cause it validates better. Then we start the main run with a channel tag, which we close with, and everything else goes inside the item list. So from here on, it's a fairly, I've had to do a little bit of work here renaming some field names from the SQLite database query as they conflicted, so that looks a little bit messy, but it does the job. So really we just concatenate up, we've got full XML document there and ready to print. Okay, the get news list is quite a good method. Well, not a good method. This does the query, so whatever you put into your news feeder, you know, date equals this, time equals that, whatever you searched for on the form will be saved, and that's what you'll be putting into your news feeder. So there'll be a query of things which will be returned by this function. So we've created the database query, we're going to walk through it and print out some information. This return area is the only one of interest. It's where we start to build up the string. Just a set of div tags. They'll be supported by a style sheet, so they'll all drop into their right place, floated, and tile out across the screen. That's it really. Okay, an interesting point, the Ajax side of it everybody quite likes. I'm using quite an old-fashioned call here, but it works, and I really must review it one day. Putting in a bog standard, I like to use the form method when I'm posting to my post to me page. I always take an action in, and this actual action is get article. If we look at the post to me.php page, you can see that includes the class manager, so the function it's calling is actually inside there. It's going to obviously clean up your input, do a database query and spit out the results, and that's it really. As you can see, we drop it into the response text back into a div tag on the page, and that's where it's going to end up. Okay, the JavaScript, straight into the init function, which starts in the at the top of the script there. It's one of those. It's not a class. First of all, I'd like to mention that I do use the Yahoo utilities. They've got some great fade-in effects on there, and it saves hours and hours of work. So I just tap into there, as I do to MooTools every now and again, and things like that. So here we are, just setting the event handlers for the different links around the page, and some fade-in, fade-out. So you can see that we're sort of walking through a set of objects here, and we're putting on a delay of 1,000 seconds multiplied by the x count of the object, of course. That's it, end of the initialization. Okay, we'll move on. Okay, a couple of bits in the form validation. I mean, I always use regular expressions if I can. This is a classic email match, if you like, and everything comes through true or false. If it fails, it'll take the value through and set a trigger, and put red and green border around the edge of the box by doing that. So if you failed or passed, the client gets a fairly clear information back.